and welcome to Around the Ring. This is Dark Dive. I want to start by saying, wow, what a week of programming we've had from AEW. It's been absolutely fantastic, from the Elevation debut on Monday through to Dynamite on Wednesday and Dark. The whole week has been absolutely phenomenal. I know Reno did the Elevation review earlier in the week, but holy crap, that show was amazing. I don't give a shit if people are upset about Tony Khan showing up. It was fantastic from start to finish. But enough about that. Dark was really good. Was it as good as Elevation? I don't think anything could have lived up to Elevation this week, other than possibly Dynamite. But despite that, Dark was still a fantastic show, as always. We had 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 matches on Dark. We had Layla Hirsch versus Savannah Evans, Tesha Price versus Penelope Ford, Kylan King versus Jasmine Law, and Vert Vixen versus Maddie Rankowski. For the girls, for the guys, we had Cesar Bononi versus Luchasaurus, John Schuyler versus John Silver. We had D3 versus Nick Comoroto, and Jack Evans versus 10, and the rest were all tag matches. We had Chaos Project versus I can't speak today. Fuego del Sol and Jake St. Patrick. We had Angel Fashion, Baron Black and Valerie Morales versus Ryzen and Dark Order. And Ryzen versus Dark Order, sorry. Gun Club versus David Ali, Adam Priest, and Seth Gargis. We had Bear Country versus Dean Alexander and Brick Aldrich. And Sunny Kiss versus Joey Janela versus Cage and Starks. So it was an absolutely jam-packed night full of brilliant matches. The first match on the card was Cesar Bononi and Luchasaurus. If you watched live, there were some timing issues. AEW have since been back and re-edited that match and have re-released Dynamite or Dark on YouTube. So watching it back now is a heck of a lot smoother. Even with that timing issue, still a bloody brilliant match. Two big guys. It's nice seeing Luchasaurus up against someone his own size and build. Doesn't happen very often, and I hate to admit it, but I'm actually starting to enjoy Cesar Bononi and Peter Avalon. They possibly have the weirdest entrance in pro wrestling right now, but it works. I'm not sure how, but it does. And I'm going to try and not cover the same matches as I do in certain various articles and stuff I do. So the next one I'm going to bring up is Tesha Price versus Penelope Ford, which was great. It's great seeing Penelope in the ring. I always love her in the ring. She is absolutely fantastic. She has such a presence about her, and I have loved everything Tesha Price has done. It's nice seeing her get a good shot. And it was just a heck of a lot of fun to watch, as with most of the show this week. Bear Country versus Dean Alexander and Brick Aldrich was bloody brilliant. I love Bear Country. Bear Country are absolutely fantastic. They so deserve the Dynamite spot they got this week, and every other main roster spot they've got so far. I'm very much hoping they will be officially All Elite at some point, especially with everything that happened on Dynamite. So much has happened this week. There has been so much story development and everything across all the shows, not just Dynamite. It's like Dark's getting its own storylines now, and it's amazing. I'm calm, I promise. I'm still extremely hyped. It's currently 5 o'clock on Thursday, so I'm still buzzing over last night's Dynamite. So very happy. Just across everything, all of AEW this week has been absolutely fantastic. D3 versus Nick Comoroto, who came out with QT. I am loving this QT and Nick stuff, and when QT does eventually actually turn heel, rather than just playing the kind of heelish, not quite sure where he sits yet, Nick Comoroto is going to be with him. I've seen many people fantasy booking the Nightmare Family Civil War with Nick and QT versus Cody / Dustin and Lee Johnson, which is going to be great. when it does eventually happen, when they do eventually pull the trigger on it, because I can only imagine that's where they're going with all of this. When they do pull that trigger, the whole AEW universe is going to go mental. And yeah, I love it. Everything this week has been absolutely fantastic. The next one I'm going to go to is SCU versus Carly Bravo and Aaron Solo. I really like Carly Bravo. He is one of the Nightmare Factory guys. I first saw him on the showcase they did after their first training camp. That was the showcase with Brooke Havoc and that lot. Absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed seeing them there. I've been loving seeing him tag with Sean Dean. I like Aaron Solo. I really like Aaron Solo, and I'm so glad he's part of the Nightmare family. I'm so glad he's getting that push. But I do prefer Carly tagging with Sean Dean. Sean Dean's signed now, so I don't know how much that's going to continue to happen. But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Still, Carly and Aaron worked really well together. It was a really good match. It was against SCU. I want them to pull the trigger on this SCU thing on Dark. I highly doubt they will. So SCU winning matches isn't going to be much of a surprise, but the match itself was absolutely fantastic. Carly and Aaron Solo did absolutely brilliantly, and SCU looked absolutely amazing as always. I mean, they're SCU, they always do, but there was something about them working with Carly and Aaron Solo that just worked. The four of them worked really well together. The chemistry they had was great. And the last one I want to mention quickly is going to be Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela versus Cage and Starks. You might think I've rushed through the rest of this. Don't get me wrong, I loved everything about this show, but this match, not necessarily the match, but everything that happened afterwards was just story development. So much story development. So as the match came to a close, Starks tagged himself in as Cage had Joey Janela in his arms, Sonny Kiss up over on his shoulders. Starks tagged himself in and did something off the top rope, dived down and got the pin. Cage wasn't very happy about this. I don't know if Cage realized that Starks had tagged himself in, but as the match came to a close, Starks and Cage faced off against each other and were arguing in the ring. Is this going to be the start of the downfall of Team Taz? I don't know, but there is at least tension there, and I would be all up for a Cage and Starks match at some point in the future. Sooner rather than later, clear the air, much like we had with the Inner Circle and Jake Hager and Wardlow and all of that. So it would be nice to kind of clear the tensions there. But then Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela happened. And I was nearly in tears. Joey started having a go at Sonny in the ring. Sonny was backed up into the corner, collapsed, absolutely exhausted, and was almost in tears saying, "I'm sorry, Joey, I'm sorry, Joey, I'm sorry, Joey," as Joey's like, "This is all your fault. We could have got this win." And the whole thing, I was like, you can't split Joey and Sonny up. Not now, not now. They've got so much potential together and everyone wants to see them succeed as a tag team. And then Joey came down on his knees and was like, "I'm sorry, I'm just really frustrated. And I just want to start getting the wins." And the whole thing was heartbreaking because it's two friends facing this frustration together and not quite sure how to deal with it. I am so looking forward to seeing how this progresses, whether this becomes a proper storyline for them, whether we start getting those vignettes back or not, because those two are absolutely fantastic together. And I love everything about them. It's a tag team that on paper really shouldn't work, but it does. They're such a good, it's such a beautiful friendship between them. And it's something AEW have done very well of presenting emotional and kind of loving male relationships and making them normal to see on TV. And Joey and Sunny have been such a huge part of that. You've got it as well with Hangman and Dark Order and everything going on there. The Varsity Blondes, when they hold the ropes open for each other when they get in the ring. It's just the little things that AEW have done so well, normalizing emotional male relationships and friendships. And it's proper Sam and Frodo vibes, and I love it because we don't see enough of it on TV. And yeah, AEW have completely outdone themselves this week with all of their programming. We will get into the details of Dynamite on Saturday, when the Dynamite review goes live. Obviously, Reno's done his Elevation review, but the whole week has just been wow. And there is no other way to describe it. They have completely outdone themselves this week. Jack Evans and 10 was phenomenal. I'm still not sure where 10 he cut his mouth open or something. I've watched that match like half a dozen times, still can't figure out where it happens. But that last visual of 10's white mask covered in blood from like there down, and the blood spraying everywhere as he's ragdolling Evans as he got him in the full Nelson. And it's just everything about this week has just been brilliant. And there's not really much else to say. Like, there are only so many positive adjectives in the world, and I feel like I say them all far too often. I don't love everything AEW do, but when they do it right, they do it absolutely right. And there is no taking that away from them. There's no taking that away from the company. And I get called overly positive. I get called toxically positive about AEW, that I don't recognize that they don't do things right. But they've made mistakes. They have made mistakes. And I am big enough to admit that. I'm still a huge mark. I'm still a huge fan. And I love pretty much everything they do and will shout it from the rooftops. But this week has been phenomenal, and I'm not going to let anyone take that away from AEW. From the women's matches we've had through to like just every match this week has been great. There's not much else to say. This is a quick one. This is a very quick one, so I do apologize. But that there is it's just been a really, really good week for AEW. And Layla Hirsch got signed, which has made my week completely. If you watch regularly or follow my Twitter, you are aware of how slightly obsessed I am with her. But yeah, everything about this week has been great. Go watch Dark. Now it's been re-uploaded. The Cesar Bononi Luchasaurus match is as good as it should be. And yeah, the whole show came in at about an hour and 45 minutes. Just sit down and watch it. Have a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you drink wherever you are in the world, and just sit back and enjoy it, because that's all I can suggest this week is just enjoy it, because everything about it is enjoyable. So yeah, I will leave you with this very, very, very brief dive into this week's Dark, and let you enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you on Saturday with Reno with our Dynamite review. And I will put the bio to the Elevation review in the description box below, somewhere in that general area. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Bye.